The Baltimore Ravens appear to be getting closer towards making a roster decision. With all the moves that need to be made, the NFL can be a cruel place. But in about 24 hours, the Baltimore Ravens and the rest of the NFL have a lot to figure out. This is when they need to get down to 53 men, the 53 players that are going to continue to comprise each team's roster heading into the season. And there is a strong possibility that a productive preseason player may not have done enough to be kept around. There's also some uncertainty when it comes to the future of one of the Baltimore Ravens Pro Bowl players. So we're going to talk about all this in this video and more coming up now. But first, let's get it. So, as of today, the Baltimore Ravens have decisions to make. The preseason is over. The team has evaluated all of its players. Now they have to comprise the best 53 men that are going to make up this roster. The key questions are, which players are they going to keep? How many are they going to keep at certain positions? And if there are undrafted free agents that made the team, could possibly make the team. Baltimore Ravens are one of those franchises that develop undrafted free agents. They have kept one on the roster for approximately 21 straight years. They missed a year and it has started back up again. But taking a quick glance at it, what are the Ravens going to do? We know they're set at quarterback. We're going to have Lamar Jackson, Cooper Rush, Devin Leary is probably going to the practice squad. Running backs, Derrick Henry, of course, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, and this is where things get a little bit questionable. Is Rasheen Ali going to be on the roster? Has he done enough to be kept around? If not, he is definitely a practice squad candidate. And Dearness Johnson, what will they do with him? So depending upon what the Ravens do at other positions, that may determine if we're going to keep 4 running backs on this roster. Wide receivers, we all know the usual suspects. It's going to be Zay, Bate, D-Hop, Tez. We know Tylan Wallace is going to make the roster, and LaJohntay Wester because of his punt return ability, and he showed flashes at wide receiver during the preseason. So the Ravens are going to keep 6 wide receivers, in my opinion. Tight ends, of course, we got Kolar, Likely, Andrews, and Hard R. Ricard. And as far as the offensive lineman goes, the Ravens normally carry around 9 or 10 offensive linemen. But now the question is, has Corey Bullock done enough to make this team? What do they feel about Noteboom? Are there any other surprises on this offensive line? I don't really think so. So I think that they keep possibly around 9 people. But the biggest questions are going to be with this roster when it comes to the defense. There have been a lot of standout players, a lot of players that have gotten injured. So this is going to dictate where the Ravens may possibly go when it comes to the upcoming season. One of the biggest questions is, what are the Ravens going to do at linebacker, specifically the outside linebacker position? We have Kyle Van Noy, we have Adafe Owe, we have Tavius Robinson, we have Mike Green, Adisa Isaac. He's going to start the season off on IR, but that opens up a spot for somebody else. Has David Ajabo done enough to make this team? Malik Ham came on late. Has he done enough? So one of those 2 guys may be that 5th option, not unless the Ravens have a handshake deal done with Jadeveon Clowney to come in after they make roster cuts. And if they do, those 2 guys are essentially gone or on the practice squad. Then when we get to the inside linebackers, we got Roquan Smith, we got Trenton Simpson, Teddy Buchanan, Jake Hummel, who I don't think is going to make the team, but there's a strong possibility. And what do we do with Jay Higgins? Just looking at what happened throughout the preseason, I think that Higgins should make the team over Hummel. I know Hummel's a special teams guy, but when I watch Higgins play, he stands out. He's made plays in the first 2 games. Didn't see much of him last game. I don't think they played him as much or featured him, but when he was put into the spotlight, he made plays. Listen, this guy is a former All-American. 2 years ago, he had 171 tackles. If you look at last season's NFL tackling leader, Zaire Franklin, he had 173 tackles in 17 games. So this guy knows how to find the ball. He may not have elite speed. He may be a little bit undersized, but I think that he is one of those undrafted free agents that the Ravens should prioritize and bringing onto this team, because all he does is make plays. He may not look the part, and I know the Ravens love being that height, weight, speed team, but if a guy can come out there and effectively make plays, that's all that matters. I remember years back when Aqib Talib came out of Kansas. He did not run a fast 40, but over his career, he was one of the better cornerbacks in the game, not having that elite speed. He knew angles. He knew how to watch tape. He knew how to game plan. So if guys can do that, they can compensate for the things that they are lacking. Hummel, he's been in the league and proved so far he ain't it. So why not give the young guy a chance? Because if you put him on the practice squad, I guarantee you there's a team that saw his tape and they are going to scoop him up. Now we get to the defensive line. Broderick Washington, Matabike, Travis Jones, Aeneas Peoples. Those four guaranteed. Now anything after that, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We really don't know, but depending upon how many defensive backs, how many safeties are they going to carry. But let's not forget they re-signed Brent Urban. They brought in John Johnson. There's a possibility that both of those guys may not make this team. Then we go to the cornerbacks. We already know what's going on with the cornerback situation. We got Humph, we got Wiggins, we got Jair, we got Cheeto, we got Jalen Armour-Davis. It's 5 right there. And I think Keon Martin has made enough plays. He's shown enough in the preseason that he deserves a roster spot on this team. So that's 6 defensive backs. Well, I'm sorry, that's 6 cornerbacks right there. Are the Ravens going to carry any more just in case? Then we get to the safeties. Of course, you got Kyle Hamilton, you got Malachi Starks. They're going to make the team. Sanusi Kane, he's pretty much a lock to make the team as well. And this is where things get complicated. What do we do with Bo Braid and Ruben Lowry? A lot of people believe that Lowry has done enough to make this team. I believe so as well. But being that Braid is a Maryland guy, he's a hometown guy, and he's made plays, and he's a special team. He plays special team, which is very important to John Harbaugh and this team. But there is a possibility that the Ravens could keep all 5 of them. So that's 11 defensive backs. When you have that many on this team, it lessens what you can do at other positions. Now, even once they do this 53-man roster, it won't be finalized. That will not be the final product that they bring out onto the field on September the 7th. So the Ravens have a lot to decide between now and 4 p.m. tomorrow. I don't envy them because the Ravens have a lot of talented young players to pick from. A lot of guys who I think in a couple of years with the right coaching, put in the right situation, can be and do extremely well. So we'll just wait and see what the Ravens have going on and what they're going to do. I can't wait because then we know who we are rocking with. We know the guys that we're going into battle with on a Sunday night game up in New York. And I cannot wait for that. Now, when I woke up this morning, I wasn't expecting people to choose violence. I know people choose violence each and every day, but I wasn't expecting it on this day. Listen, the Ravens had an undefeated preseason, not too many major injuries. It's been a good weekend, but then I wake up to some rumors, or a rumor in particular, that Tyler Linderbaum said, listen, don't even approach me. Do not offer me an extension unless it's at least $20 million per year. I don't know if I can believe that he said something like that, but if it is true, it's got some people in panic. It's got some people up in arms. I don't understand why they're attacking someone or a situation that we don't even know is true. They're talking about, oh my gosh, we can't sign Linderbaum. He's not even the best center in the league. Well, he is one of the top 5 best centers in the league, bar none, hands down. Does he deserve $20 million? I don't know. Some of you people were the same ones that said we don't need a center in the first round. But look what we got. We got a guy that has held down this offensive line. Does he struggle against some bigger, heavier, tougher defenders? Yes, he does, just like most centers do. And also, you put raw, inexperienced guards next to him. So now he has to overcompensate. So not only do I have to hike the ball, check the protections, I got to worry about to the guy to the left and the right of me if they're going to do their jobs properly. The Ravens are 32nd in the league when it comes to paying an offensive line. And y'all are sitting here hustling and bustling about 20 mil over a center. I swear y'all don't remember the years when we had a bad center and Lamar got hurt or balls were going over his head, pause. Or that when the people weren't blocking properly. I think you guys forget about that and just live in the right now. You're saying, oh, we have other things to prioritize. Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is a priority, but guess what? He's on his 5th-year option, so he has another year before they have to do anything. Then they said, well, you know, the team has to worry about Travis Jones. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Travis Jones, but we're talking about a two-time consecutive Pro Bowl center versus a guy who has been fairly decent. Been injured, but he's been fairly decent. And you're trying to compare and contrast the two. A defensive tackle that's rotated in and out of the game versus a center that touches the ball each and every play and blocks. I know that some of y'all tried to compare Travis Jones to Haloti Ngata. Pause. That. Slow down. Let him make consistent game-changing plays before we get into that round. And it's no comparison. But if the Ravens handle their money correctly, guess what? They can sign Linderbaum and they can sign Travis Jones. And I get $20 million is a steep price. And it's more than the top center in the league. Creed Humphrey is the best center in the NFL, and he's only making $18 million. Ham Jurgens is second in the league in 17 million. So then you say to yourself, how can you in your right mind pay 20 million for Linderbaum? Well, guess what? Prices go up every year. Price of the brick moves, like inflation, things happen. But I get it. But the one thing is, we do not know if this is true or if it's not true. So until then, let's just pump our brakes and see what happens. But I do not think that we need to go in experimenting with a new center next season to go along with the left guard that may be in his third year of non-health starting. We don't know. Lele may be gone. So then we're going to bring in a new right guard. Like, we need some kind of continuity, some stability on this offensive line just for the sake and the sanity of our quarterback. But we'll worry about that bridge when we get to it. And finally, we're going to take a look around the AFC North. Just like the Ravens, every team has cut down day. The deadline is tomorrow. So teams are making moves. Starting off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the Steelers, not doing much of anything, but their first round pick, Derek Harmon, injured his knee and he's considered week to week. They don't know what's going on with him. Aaron Rodgers is doing Aaron Rodgers things. Now he's talking about, I may play beyond 2025. Who knows? He's playing those psychological games that he has with each and every team he's been a part of. But he's 40 years old. He's a non-factor to us. Pittsburgh Steelers, their fans like to say that they are our biggest rival. They are the team that's in the way of the Ravens winning 3 straight AFC North titles. I don't see it, but you know what? We all can dream.
Wow, the land of make-believe.
Then we come to the Cincinnati Bengals, who still have not signed star defensive end Trey Hendrickson. For the last 2 seasons, Hendrickson has accounted for 35 sacks. He led the league last year with 17.5 and 17.5 the year before. If that's not consistency, I don't know what is. And the Bengals are being cheap. I guess they're feeling themselves a little bit because they finally got their first round pick, Shamar Stewart, signed. They feel like they don't need Hendrickson. Listen, last season, the Bengals were 25th in the league. You're telling me the only guy on your defense that gave a damn about playing it and played it well, you're having an issue re-signing. So Mike Brown is going to continue to be a cheap owner. They're going to continue doing what they're doing. Good for them. I'll take it. And lastly, we come to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have released Tyler Huntley, leaving 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Now, the speculation is they're going to carry 4 quarterbacks throughout the season. But the thing that is just puzzling to me, and I'm getting real sick and tired of it, is just the bashing of Shedeur Sanders. You don't have to be a Shedeur Sanders fan. Nobody said he was the second coming of John Elway. Everybody to say, look at the guy that y'all predicted. Nobody predicted anything. They thought he was going to go in the first round. They thought he was going to be a solid quarterback. Nobody said that he was going to be great. For people to come out here and bash him is just crazy to me. You don't like him because he's overly confident. Look who his father is. Oh, he's too confident. He walks around with too much swag. Like, I don't like that about him. He needs to be humble. Well, guess what? There is a man in this world who runs supposedly the greatest nation in the world, who's extremely arrogant, who has no humility to himself. But I hear people praising him every day. Oh, I like how he carries himself. I like how he's so confident. When you have this quarterback who's just like, I'm confident in my skills. I came from nowhere. I'm confident in my skills. My father's a Hall of Famer. I have a lot on my plate as far as living in his shadow. Went to Jackson State. They said I couldn't do it in big time college football. I went to Colorado and I balled out. Didn't have an offensive line, didn't have a run game. Yes, are there flaws in my mechanics? There most certainly are. Do I hold on to the ball a little bit too long? Yes, he certainly does. For him to get the flack and the criticism that he does, I don't get it. It's like this young man broke into your house and beat up your dog and you hate him for life. This is this generation, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. This is how this generation acts. Not all of them don't act like that, but a lot of them behind closed doors exude a certain confidence. And for you guys to be wishing his downfall, cool. I don't care if you don't like him. Let's not make it out to, oh, see, I told you, look how he played on Sunday. This says everything. Does it? Because you had nothing to say, and I didn't hear a lot of you people talking. He came out in his preseason debut with a lack of reps, lack of playing time, and he balled out. Everybody shut up then. But now he has a bad game. Jeff Swartz said it himself. Sometimes in situations, you have coaches that tell the offensive line to tank a little bit so that they can make a quarterback look worse because they don't like him. It's politics. All of this is politics. And if you think that it just stops with the NFL, it does not. It trickles down to a team. It's amazing how all of these outsiders, everybody has an opinion about Shedeur, but his teammates love him, black and white. So I think that if there is a lesson to be learned here, look at how the players react to other players. Stop worrying about what we say, the pundits, prognosticators, and publications say. Worry about what the other players say. That's why a lot of times when they do debates and they do rankings, I don't listen to people. Even my opinion is skewed to a certain point. I listen to the guys that play with you. Listen to the guys that have done it before you. When they say something, I listen. What I'm hearing from everybody else is he's a good dude that works hard and puts in the time. Now, if he was as arrogant as a lot of people say he is, he would just show up. He wouldn't practice. He wouldn't watch film. He wouldn't do any of these things. He would just show up and go out there and look like a fool. He doesn't. We hear the opposite from players. Regardless of how you feel about him, if they can accept him for that, why can't you? All right, appreciate y'all. Make sure that you tune in possibly tomorrow night. Dawn and I have a special surprise for you if we can get the logistics work out. It's a little different, something from not what we're used to doing. We're trying to incorporate new things for the 2025 season. I hope to see you guys there. Make sure to like, subscribe.